Viewfinder is a reality-bending first-person puzzle game developed by Sad Owl Studios. After a trailer for the game and its concepts went viral a few years ago, it made its way to PS5 and PC in 2023 with other platforms following suit, and now, most recently, it's arrived on Nintendo Switch. That, we figured, was as good a time as any to finally jump into the game and see if it lives up to the promise of its premise. Say that 5 times fast. Viewfinder is openly inspired by puzzle games like the original Portal, and that DNA is evident throughout the experience. A cryptic and mysterious world that slowly reveals itself, a limited set of core mechanics pushed and developed in various ways. Here, those core mechanics are all about using photographs, artwork, and other representations of the world to change your surroundings and solve puzzles, to go from teleporter to teleporter and level to level. By placing a photo into the world, it creates a fully 3D realization of that photo, which you can walk around on and further manipulate. At first, you rely on picking up photos and art from the environment to make progress, but the game quickly builds on this idea in all sorts of interesting ways. Photos can be duplicated at a copier and get grainier the more you copy them. Teleporters can get powered by you, batteries, and sound. You even get a Polaroid-esque instant camera to take your own pictures from your own angles. The amount of freedom you have to essentially carve up the world around you as you see fit is incredibly satisfying, and watching the photos you find or take spring to life in front of you kind of never gets old. The puzzles themselves never get particularly involved. Most are solved in a single step or two, focused on either getting to the teleporter or powering it up somehow, and rarely get more than moderately challenging. Like Portal, puzzles are contained within a single room or stage, so everything's pretty bite-sized, and the game tends to lump multiple takes on the same mechanic together to help guide your thought process. If you're looking for a lot of serious stumpers, this might not do it for you outside of the optional challenge levels, but on the flip side, those who get turned off by that more hardcore experience will probably appreciate the softer level of difficulty here. What really elevates the whole thing, though, is the quality of its presentation. The art direction is simply magnificent, and there's something about the world it creates that's hard to describe, but remarkable nonetheless. It's liminal, ethereal, abstract, just the tiniest bit unsettling. The vibes are truly immaculate. This might sound odd, but stay with me here. Have you ever rediscovered something that's been abandoned for a long time? A house or office with someone's stuff still in it? A game with no more online functionality that only throws error codes when you boot it up? This game captures that desolate, mysterious feeling impeccably. Every vinyl record audio log, post-it note, and decorated space you come across exude that sense of history, once so valuable and meaningful to someone, but only ghosts and memories now. Dust and echoes? Obviously, this isn't the only game to have you trek through an abandoned space, but there's something about how it puts those elements together that really makes it stand out. It's weird but intoxicating at the same time, and an ambient soundtrack that's heavy on airy synths and lo-fi jazz is the delicate and very fitting cherry on top. Even on the Switch, where fidelity and resolution are kind of lacking, it's a very attractive and immersive game. If there's any real cracks in the armor here, the biggest ones probably come from the narrative. Portal benefited immensely from the mystique of Aperture Science, the exceptionally well-written GLaDOS, the progressive pacing of how much was revealed and when. Viewfinder aims for a very similar experience, but it doesn't entirely get there. The plot on offer has you roaming through the remains of a simulation where scientists were working on a solution for climate change that would revive plant life in your inhospitable present. It's not as listless or boring as some reviewers have noted, but it certainly lacks the wit of Portal or the intrigue of something like the Stanley Parable. The side characters, pieces of lore, and world building scattered throughout don't prove particularly interesting either. That said, it's enough plot scaffolding to get you through to the end with clear goals and progress in mind, though the final world in particular does manage to shake that rust off and become, well, quite captivating, honestly. It's a surprisingly melancholy last act, contemplative and thought-provoking in some unexpected ways. The fragility of someone or something, the impact of creating something versus destroying it, which you've been doing all game, by the way. We won't spoil it all, but it's that sort of heady focus and food for thought that you should ultimately expect. Some may also complain about the voice acting, but we found it fairly inoffensive, with your postmodern cat companion probably the best of the bunch. It's not earth-shaking stuff, but it's certainly not the amateur hour that others might have you believe. As you might expect, the Switch versions of the game are the least impressive looking and least performant of all available versions, though at least in the case of the Switch 2, not to the point of too much distraction. There are some pretty low-res assets throughout that let down the otherwise stellar art design, But other than some appreciable loading hitches and a lower overall frame rate, the performance isn't much of an impediment on the fun. And honestly, you kind of stop thinking about it as you get absorbed into all of the puzzle solving. The price of portability, yeah? Despite these compromises, the core of Viewfinder shines through brightly, and there's a lot of fun to be had here. It's a genuinely innovative experience with ample potential for follow-ups, and at 4 to 5 hours of gameplay, there's really no filler, just thoughtful game design. Even if puzzle games aren't really your thing, this one's worth considering, even if you're only here for the chill vibes and the cat companion, which you can pet, by the way. So when you put it all together, Viewfinder gets 4 Gloobies out of 5, but this could easily be a 4.5, and it's only really held back by the Switch version's performance and presentation downgrades. It should be even smoother and more engrossing on something like the PS5 or Series X, but no matter where you play this, you're in for an utterly captivating and creative game that's deserving of your time and money. Viewfinder is available for PS4, PS5, PSVR 2, Xbox Series S and X, PC, Nintendo Switch, and Switch 2. Thanks so much for watching. Stay fresh, cheese bags. We'll catch you back here real soon.